Hi there, I'm going to show you in this video how you can download Anki and use it for the first time in your English learning. This video is perfect for you if you are looking for a system to help manage your flashcards and test you automatically on them. So let's start by opening your search engine and searching for Anki. You'll see this link here, apps.ankiweb.net, not ankiweb.net. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's start here. You'll see a download button which takes you to all of the different links that you can click to download Anki. I'm using a Windows computer, so let's use this link here. Save the file, wait for it to download, and once it has, you can open the file. Next, it will ask you to install the file onto your computer, and that will take a few moments. Let's look at the other computers while we wait. If you're using an Apple Mac, you can download it by using this link, or a Linux computer using this link, or if you're on a phone, you can use these two links. So for iPhone, iPad, iTouch, the app is called Anki Mobile, but it's not free. You will need to pay for this app. If you're using an Android phone, you can download the Anki Droid app, which is free. And all of the computer versions are also free as well. So it's now completed the installation. So if you go to the desktop, you should see the Anki app. And if you open it, you'll be able to choose your profile. Let's call us a test user and open. And here you can see the Anki app. I'll make it a little bit bigger. So flashcards belong to a deck, just like when you're playing cards, a deck of cards, a deck of flashcards. There are three ways to get new decks. You can download shared decks by other people. You can create your own deck, or you can import a file. If you want to get a shared deck, these are decks that other people have created. So it's a quick way of getting a lot of different flashcards in a short time. If you want to create your own deck, this is a good way of making it very specific to what you need to learn. For example, if you're studying an English course, you could create flashcards for the language that you're learning on that course and test your memory as you study the course. And for the language professional courses and ebooks, I give files to people who study these, so you can use this one to import any files that I give to you. So let's go to the first one, get shared. And remember before I showed you that other link, which was ankiweb.net. This is for the shared decks. You need to have an AnkiWeb account in order to do this, so you will need to sign up. It is free, but you need to sign up with your email address. And you can use that to download pretty much anything, not just languages, all different subjects as well. So if we go into English, let's see, here are all of the different shared decks that you can download. The notes are the number of flashcards in them. So note that some of these are very, very, very big. And while that might sound like a good idea, look at this, 10,000. You need you need to make sure that you're downloading the correct one for your situation. Just be careful. When you download one of these, really you need to commit to studying these every day if you want to get through them. If you download a 10,000 flashcard deck and it's not really suitable for your needs, you're not really going to complete that deck at all. So let me try and log in so that I can download a deck. And we'll go back to get shared decks, back to language English. And let's just choose one, perhaps not too large. That looks reasonably good. How about this one? English irregular verbs. There you go. 130. So if I go down the page, there's a download link here. Open it with the Anki app, Anki device, and it automatically loads them into your program. Here it is, English irregular verbs. So if I click it, I can start studying immediately. Verb, to put. Okay, I'm not quite sure what the answer should be. Oh, I see. So it wants to know the simple form, the past simple, and the past participle. So this is a good example of how you might use it to study grammar for irregular verbs. So, okay, let's try another one. Shrink. We have shrink, shrank, shrunk. So show answer, and yes, I got it right. Although here, simple past can be shrunk. So you will decide now if you got it correct. If you found it easy, you can click this button. If you were quite good, but maybe you made a small mistake, you can click good. Or if you got it wrong, you can click again. If you got it easy, you will be tested later, maybe 4 days later. If you were quite good, you will be tested less than 10 minutes later. And if you didn't do so well, you will be tested quite quickly. So this is how the spaced repetition system works, using this very simple 3 selection process. Let's try one more. Shed, which means to drop, like drop tears. Shed, shed, shed. Okay, I got it right. Here we go, easy. So that's how you would use a deck that you have downloaded from someone else's shared decks. If you can find a suitable one, then that's a really good way to do it. But you might want to create your own. So let's go here, create deck, and we'll call it test deck. Click on it and add a flashcard. Here under type, you can see there are 6 different types of flashcard. So the basic one just has a front and a back. So the front is the question that Anki will ask you, and the back is the answer that you must provide. So let's create one. How about this? You can attach an image, and here's my dog. I don't know why that's sideways. And then the answer, add. So if I go out of it and study, it looks like this. Let's make it a little bit bigger. What is this? Okay, it doesn't look so great, but you can do a better job than I can, I'm sure. So the question, what is this? And an image, and it shows the answer, a dog. If you didn't get it right, you can click again and it will test you more quickly. Okay, let's go back to that deck and add a new card. This time we will use the reversed card. So what that means, it looks exactly the same, but the question might ask you what you've written on the front, or the question might ask you what you have written on the back. So it actually creates 2 flashcards and one of them is the reverse. So it wouldn't work for the last question, I don't think, because then you would have to guess the question, which is, what is this? It's a bit pointless. But it might work if your answer can also be a question. So let's take one example. Imagine my question is this. It's not a question, it's a statement. And if you're interested in using translation, and in your mother tongue, maybe it's Chinese. Okay, it looks something like that. Then this could be asked in both directions. So if I add it, you will get, and I study, it's actually, you can see it's added 2 flashcards here, not 1. Okay, let's move through that. The first one has given you the English. This is a dog. Now you need to say your home language. So if it's Chinese, just read 个. And if you got it right, you can put easy. And this time it gives you the Chinese, and you would have to say the English. This is a dog. And if you got it easy, you can type that again. So if we go back to the deck, the optional reversed card is the same as the one before. However, let's say, oops, I need to go back to English. Let's say, okay, and Chinese again, sorry. Okay, so if you don't write anything in this field, then this card is a basic card. It will only be asked in the first direction, where it asks you, this is a dog. If you type anything into this field, then anything at all, then it becomes a reversed card, just like we saw before. That's all. I guess it gives you flexibility if you want to change your mind a little bit later. So let's look at type in the answer. And for this one, let's start a new one. So imagine if you're reading something like this article and you see a phrase that you like, perhaps this one. Memory is better when learning is spread out over time. Let's go back to it. We can use that here. Okay, I'll just remove the bold, make it a little bit better, easier to read. And perhaps this is the spread out. This is the verb, phrasal verb that you would like to use. Then you can just get rid of that, maybe put some underlines or something like that. And the one that you're looking for is there. The answer is there. So I add that, and when it comes to testing it, memory is better when learning is, and you must type it in correctly. Let's type it in wrong and see what happens. So I spelt it wrong, spread with an E instead of an A. So you can decide again how well you did. Maybe you did it quite good, but not perfect. So you click that. So if we go to the next one, it's similar. Don't worry about this. This came from the one we downloaded, the deck we downloaded. So close is kind of similar, but I'll put that back in there. But instead of, you can use it in more ways, the close. So imagine I want to give S as a clue. You type this button, close, deletion, and that is what it will ask you to guess. So let's add that. And the question looks like that. Memory is better when learning is spread out over time. So when you show the answer, it will actually give you the missing letters. So there's quite a lot of flexibility on how you can create your own flashcards. And you can be imaginative when you're doing that. I haven't showed you all of the different features. For example, you could also record yourself there and give an audio answer in addition to some of the others. But no matter what you're studying, pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, you could create your own flashcards if you're prepared to spend the time. So let's go to the last one, which was import file. So if someone like me gives you a file with vocabulary from a course or something like that, or a book, you can just import it from that file. So as an example, let's go to my desktop. Here's one. If people look at the In the Loop Business English jargon in 30 days, I will send them this sometimes, which will just download that deck straight into your app. Here it is. And then you can click Study Now, and then it's done. As an industry leader, we're always 3 words missing of what can be achieved. What is that? That is pushing the envelope. Let's have a look. And yes, I've got it correct. Okay, this will only make sense for you if you have already studied that ebook. Okay, so that's it. We've looked at how you can download other people's shared decks to study these flashcards on your own, how to create your own deck if you're on a course or learning specific language that you really want to remember, and how you can import a file when someone, a teacher like me, gives you something to study. And all of these 3 different ways will help you learn, remember, and test your memory. Okay, so good luck. I hope you give Anki a chance, and you can write a comment below to tell us whether it helped you in your learning. Good luck.